What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for clicking on this week's video. Today, as you can tell by the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about, or I'm actually going to show you some really cool new gear for my truck camping setup. Let me get my dog tags out of your way there. You can also tell that we are in the truck. I'm headed up to the mountains right now, my local wildlife management area where I grew up hunting and camping and stuff like that. I haven't been up here in like a year. It's about an hour away from home. So I'm trying to find out if the roads are still good, and I'm checking on a camping spot that we're planning to camp at in a couple of weeks from now. And I figured while I was up here checking this out would be a good opportunity for me to film this video. Since the last video, so about 3 weeks ago, I uploaded a video about my new setup for truck camping or overlanding or whatever you guys want to call it. And I showed you out in my backyard, I showed you the tent that I went with, the awning, and some other stuff for solo camping in that video. But since then, I've got a chance to test out my setup and kind of show me and my wife some of the things that we were missing for the camping trips, especially when we both go together. 3 things in particular that I think that we really needed. So over the last couple of weeks, I reached out and I found some really cool items that are going to work out great. I spent the last few days installing, running wires, all kind of cool stuff, getting this set up to where it is today, and I absolutely love it. Some of this stuff that I'm going to show you today's video, it's hands down the best on the market. I'm glad that I decided to do it now and not wait till later when I really needed it. So these items are really going to be cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive on up to Pine Glen. I'm sorry if the camera's shaking. I'm trying to go super slow. The roads are a little bit rutted out, but there's a campsite up here called Pine Glen Campground, and it's where we're going to camp in a couple of weeks. I figured I'll set up everything there as long as we don't get rained out, but that's where I'm headed now. And I'll film this and I'll walk around and show you the really cool things that I've added. 3 things in particular. That's what this video is going to be about. These 3 items are going to make a huge difference in our truck camping or overlanding experience, especially for me and my wife. Not just for solo, but for us both. It's going to be huge. I really am looking forward to camping now that I've got the truck at this point. Man, this road is really, I hope this camera ain't too shaky on you guys, but I'm headed there now. Oh, and I just stopped at my local Walmart to fill my truck up, and the pumps out, the Murphy pumps or whatever out in front, and there was this turtle just walking around the parking lot. Like, he's like this big. It's a good sized turtle, and just walking around. There's cars like going over him, going around him, and so I grabbed him. I'm headed to the mountains anyway. I threw him in the back of the truck, and we're going to relocate him while we're here today. It's going to be a big difference for this old turtle. He's a city turtle walking around out in the parking lot of Walmart, and I'm fixing to release him to his new home, which is going to be a huge upgrade for this guy. He's going to have a creek, millions of feet of woods for him to explore, because he's never going to go but so far, I know, but he's going to get a good life. I think if I wouldn't have picked him up, he would have been roadkill within a few hours. So I'm glad I found him. We're going to relocate him while we're here and hopefully get some good footage. If the rain goes away, I'm going to get out and try to get some good stuff, get some good shots for you guys of this truck camping setup. So let's head to Pine Glen. I don't know if I was quick enough with the camera, but here goes a bunch of baby turkey. Y'all see them down there? They just crossed the road. Might be quicker with the camera. I'm sure my dash camera caught them crossing in front of me, but by the time I seen them, they were on the other side of the road, and I didn't get to grab the camera in time. It's rare that you see little bitty baby turkey. Like, you always see them full grown and strutting and stuff, but it's really rare to see them, only a couple inches tall. That was pretty cool. All right, y'all, we have made it to Pine Glen Campground, and there are some tents set up in the back, so there are some campers here today. I see some more in the back there. And we did just pass the game warden, but the rain hasn't let up yet. It started raining right after I got done flying the drone back there to get that little bit of footage for you guys. It started raining. It's been a steady drizzle the whole time, but it should go away soon. I checked the radar before we left the house, and the radar said that it wasn't going to be here very long. While we're waiting on the rain to go away, I can go ahead and set this little turtle free. I'm gonna go back there with the GoPro and grab him and take him down to this creek. Matter of fact, I need to get back here to where the creek is so I can get him closer to the water. I bet he didn't know what to think about this ride he was just on. Man, I wish this rain would stop. I really need to get this video filmed today. There he is. What's up, dude? You ready to move into your new place? Come on. There he is. The old city boy. Look at this. The perfect place for him. Perfect little creek bank. You never seen nothing like this. He was probably born right there behind Walmart in Jacksonville. Now he's about to become old country boy. Look at this creek. Look at that beautiful creek you got, man. Look at this. You ready to check out your new place? Let's get down here. Let's see what you think. Take off. Take off. Look at that, brother. There he goes. There is a little pond behind the Walmart out in Jacksonville, and I guarantee you he was hatched there. He got to about that size, which I can't age a turtle, but if I'm guessing, I'd say he's probably maybe a year old, and then he just wandered on out into the parking lot. He wouldn't have been in that parking lot very long. He'd have been a smudge on the ground by tomorrow, I'm sure. But now, he's got him a nice place to live. The rain's not bad down here up under the canopy of the trees, but there are some campers back here in the back. I see some tents set up. This is a really nice campsite too, if you've never been to Pine Glen. So this is a primitive campsite. You do have to pay, I don't know how much it is, the board's right up there. If you're gonna camp, you pull in over there, and it's just an honor system style campsite. The trees are really nice here. There's plenty of trees for hammocks. I mean, this is a really, really nice place. Let me shut my tailgate before it gets soaking wet in there. We'll circle the campsite and see if I can find a good place to set up. I don't know if I'm gonna pop the tent up, because since I'm not camping tonight, I really would rather not everything get wet if this rain don't go away. Like if it stops raining, I'll set everything up and kind of walk around. But that's the thing about the 3 products that I'm fixing to show you, is I don't have to pop everything up to show them to you. You should have got a quick peek at a couple of them right now that I'm just in love with, and I'm fixing to show you here in just a minute. Let me find a good place to park. I don't want to disturb the people that are here camping with me out here talking to a camera. All right, so it doesn't appear the rain is gonna stop. I was able to get signal just now, just enough to be able to check the radar, and it's gonna rain on me the rest of the time I'm here. So I'm just gonna show you what I did to my setup, how I got it. I took some notes with me because I really wanted to share with you guys the products that I'm gonna show you in today's video. The first thing we're gonna hit on is the lighting. Lighting is a big thing, and when we're out camping around the truck, you need some good lighting. So I added these 40-inch KingPin light bars. These are called their V-bars, and they're by a company called KingPin. And they rotate 180 degrees. Look at that. I've got one on the back here. I've got another 40-incher down the side here. And you can aim them where you want them. You can turn them around. They're aircraft grade aluminum, anodized black, so they're not gonna rust on you. They're super heavy duty. You can drive over these with a vehicle and it's not gonna hurt them. And it's a really soft white light. The way I got everything wired up is I've got a Power Queen, trying to get the camera in here. I got me a Power Queen battery in here, and I got a 60 amp breaker. If I turn this breaker on and we come back out of the bed, I had this switch panel at the house, just sit in the drawer. It's an 8 panel, so I got extra buttons here to add stuff, but now I can use this. Like here's the rear light, boom. I'm gonna turn them all on. Side light, boom. And then the other side light, you couldn't see that. I couldn't give you a boom on that one. But check this light out. How cool is that? And these are the 40 inchers, and they also have a couple of different sizes. I've got a 12 incher in here, and I'll show you right up under here. And this is perfect for cargo. And I've got it on their dimmer switch. So they sell these switches, you just touch them, and when you touch them, it turns the light on. And I love being able to rotate it, because see how I can see all my gear in the back of the truck? And if it's dark and I'm trying to get something out of the back here, this is super handy to be able to see back there. And if it's too bright, watch this. You can take your finger, tap and hold. Can y'all tell how dim it's getting? Dim, 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 dim. And it gets super dim. So it's still on, it's not turned off, but see how dim it's got? I'll show you if I aim it to the back. And now I'm gonna put my finger on it again, tap and hold. And as I hold it, it's gonna brighten back up. And it's just gonna keep getting brighter and brighter until it's maxed out on brightness. And as you can tell, it's a diffused light, so you don't see the LEDs. It's not over bright. They call it a soft white, I believe, or a soft daylight. And look at that light we've got all the way around the truck. So now we've got light up under the canopy. We've got a light back here when we're preparing food. And our ladder is on this side of the rig. So when we're coming up and down our ladder right here, we've got a light to shine on the ground to help us get in and out of the tent with no problem. I've also got an app for this switch panel, so I can control, once it's on and we're in the tent, I can control the switch panel from my app. It's just an old aux beam app. I'm gonna have all of this linked in the video description, but that is the first thing. It fixed our lighting, which we desperately needed some light out here around the setup while we were camping. All right, well, I guess it's not getting slack. I thought the rain was letting up a little bit, but it's definitely not. So we're gonna head back towards the house, because after looking at the radar just now, it's not gonna get any better. For some reason, it just popped up and it's just gonna sit on top of the mountain that I'm on all day long. So I'm gonna head back to the house, finish the video for you guys. I apologize for this one just kind of being all over the place. All right, y'all. We've made it back to the house. I was able to kind of outrun the storm, but I feel like it is still blowing right my direction here at the house now. But the second thing on the list that I wanted to talk about was storage. Now, even though I've got all of this really cool stuff on my truck, it's still the smallest truck bed on the market. I have the 5.5 foot Tacoma bed, and you can only put so much stuff in there. And when me and my wife both go camping together, and especially if we're gonna stay multiple days and it's cold, you gotta pack all kinds of socks, extra pullovers, jackets. Just the clothes alone take up a lot of space. And by the time you get all the chairs and stuff in the back of this truck set up, there's really not a lot of room for clothes. And we usually have duffel bags kind of just piled behind the seats. Well, I got to looking online and I found these boxes right here. These are called Go Rhino Adventure boxes, and I found them on realtruck.com. They're the 44-inch version, and they fit perfect right where I got them. And the really cool thing about these boxes is I don't have to have straps. I don't have to have any kind of tie downs to haul them on top of my truck, because realtruck.com also sell these really cool mounting system. You undo 2 knobs, you fold them down, and then you fold your latches back. Once you got those undone, you just pull the case off. So this is how they look up close. As you can see, it is called the Go Rhino Adventure Gear, and it's made in the USA, which is super awesome. And they've got, it looks like regular handles until you look really close and notice that there's this little thumb depression spot. And when you shut them, that's where you push. They're pinch free, so they won't pinch your fingers. And when you pull back on it, it kind of just pops itself right up. They're also lockable. As you can see, you can put your own padlock here. And then they open up, and there's a ton of storage. You can get these boxes empty, or you can get them with the foam insert where you can kind of cut out, like if you wanted to put your rifle in here, guns, camera equipment, stuff like that, you could kind of cut out your custom little areas to hold your stuff. And another cool thing about these boxes is all of the latches, as you can tell, are on one side. You don't have to worry about reaching around to the sides to get to the latches. So if I needed to open this while it was still on top of the truck, I wouldn't have to try to reach to the sides or try to fit my hands in between the box and the rooftop tent to be able to get the latches open. Everything's right there on the side. You can pop it straight up, push them down to lock them, and they're weather tight, dust proof and waterproof on the inside. So up here on the top of the truck, this is how the mounts look. You get 2 per case, and one goes on one end, one goes on the other end. I've got them tied directly to my Prinsu roof rack, and you can put your own padlocks on top of these latches to keep anybody from turning these and taking them off. Or if you want to secure them, you know, just while you're in the woods, you can put a zip tie through there to keep them from popping open. But in order to get them open, you would have to flip this up, and then you got to turn this to release the latch, and then flip it back. And then this comes down, this would come back like this, and then you do the other one, and you can slide your case right off the truck. So like I said, these are the Go Rhino Adventure cases from realtruck.com. I will have this linked in the video description below. Always look in the video description of my videos and check for links with promo codes next to them, because a lot of times if you see a piece of gear that you like on my channel, odds are I've got a discount code to save you some money at checkout. So if you're gonna buy it anyway, you might as well save some money and use my code. Now on to the third thing that we just had to have when we found out it existed. The last thing I want to talk about in this video is something that we found out that we really needed on our last trip out when we went out to Guntersville. Recently, I did add this 5-pound propane tank, and I've got a pull-out camp stove that we use to cook on. And I've also got my hitch fire grill that we used last time you've seen us go out camping when we took Trailer Swift, that pull-behind camp trailer that I built. But we realized that even though we have a cook station right here by the truck hooked to propane, we needed something else that we could cook on over at the picnic table, something to boil water in, something that we could quickly cook in. And if it's raining, I would like to have had something that we could cook on inside the tent, just to do quick stuff like mac and cheese. My wife, she loves macaroni and cheese. If we can make it while we're in the woods, it makes her super happy. So I started looking around for some way that we could cook inside the tent safely, and then a way that we could also have an extra place to cook at a picnic table away from the grill that we're using. And I found this bad boy right here. This is called the Nomad cooking system from Stoke Voltax. And what's really cool about this setup is it's a couple of different things in one. First of all, as you can tell, this is not a gas cooking system. This is an electric cooking system. It plugs into a 120 volt outlet. You can plug it into shore power, or I can plug this into a power bank as long as the power bank is big enough. I think this thing will pull from its lowest, it pulls 200 watts all the way up to 1,000 watts, depending on what you're cooking, you know, which pot you're using. It comes with 2 different pots. It's got a shallow pot, and this one is called, I believe, their sizzling pan. And it's got this really cool handle that you can use on both pots, or the pan and the pot. See how I've got a instant skillet right here. It's got the nice grids down the bottom. We can cook steaks in this thing. We can do rice, whatever we need. And it's pretty deep if we just wanted to use this one. But it's also got this one here, and I believe they call this one their bubbling pot. It's got a measurement system on the back. You lock the handle on there really quick, set it on top of here. It's got a smart technology that it knows whenever you pull this off that it's not cooking anymore, and it'll shut power off to this. As soon as you put your pan or your pot back on there, you can turn this dial to crank it up, and we can cook right there in the tent if we need to. It's got this really nice little top for if we're boiling some, like I said, noodles for her macaroni and cheese while we're camping. This is a must-have. We cannot wait to use it. We just got it in last week. We've been waiting on this to come in so that I could film this video before we go out on the trip. We're going out on a trip next week, so y'all stay tuned for us to be using this one in an upcoming adventure, several upcoming adventures, because I can tell you right now, we're gonna love being able to cook kind of away from, you know, the truck. If we don't want to cook right here at the back of the truck, we can take this directly over to our picnic table, plug it into our shore power or our power bank, and just set up and start cooking. I think this is really, really cool. I also really like how this kind of all packs up together. Everything can go together in one little spot. I just got to remember how I do it. I think I do it like this, and then the top flips upside down so the handle goes on the inside, and then everything can go flat and it fits right in the drawer of the back of the truck. And like I said, if we don't want to whip out the hose and hook up the propane and get a fire going to cook, if we just need something quick, this is gonna work. I think this is gonna really help me out when I'm solo camping by myself. If I'm wanting to eat something fast before I get on the water in the morning to do some fishing, this is gonna be great. I cannot wait to use it. This will be linked in the video description below, along with a discount code. There's a bee flying right in front of the camera. I should have a discount code for these guys. I'll have it next to the link if I do. Don't forget, all the links are always up under the video description of these videos. Hop down there, check these guys out. I can't wait to use this thing. You're gonna see this in a lot of our upcoming adventures, especially my solo camping trips out in the truck. And it looks like this storm has made its way full circle. It is here at the house now. I don't know if y'all can tell by the mic, but the wind is definitely starting to pick up. And I'm seeing some black clouds come over the mountain there behind you guys. So I'm gonna finish putting all this stuff back up, head to the house. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Stay tuned. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna be testing this stuff out very soon. We're fixing to go out on a camping trip, try all this stuff out. Really cool place we're going we've never been to before, so I want to share that adventure with y'all here on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed. If you want to support the channel, hit that join button right up under this video. You get to watch my content a little bit earlier than everybody else. I upload every Monday at 6 p.m. and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.